Well, happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful mothers out there. Um, I just came to talk about some of our mothers and our ancestry. Um, as you know, I write novels, and my books are all about strong, successful, dangerous women, and I had lots of role models for that. To begin with, my mother, Luella. Um, Boy, what a woman. She could be dangerous, especially when I was bad. So she was really strong. When we first moved to California, and we were really poor. Dad had just started working. We'd moved from Nebraska in a station wagon with a back of a pickup truck trained into a trailer, and I managed to throw my teddy bear in the back. I wasn't supposed to take it with me, but I did. Anyway, Mom, on our first Christmas, we had no money. So Mom went out and spent, I think, $35 on wax. And she made candles. She used the year before's Christmas cards and used those, cut those up, and made candles out of them. She put them in a wagon, and I took them around the neighborhood and sold candles. Made enough money to pay for everybody's Christmas. Me, my sisters, my mom, and my dad. We all got presents that Christmas. Then she started into her decorating business. I'm sure with my grandmother's help. Bissell Decorating Studios. So she started that and ran that until I think they moved to started moving a little bit till they got up to running springs. She started another business. This time she was printing pressure sensitive labels. These are the labels that you see that people peel off and put on packages that says, like fresh today and things like that. So she printed those labels, started another business. So that's 3 businesses that she did. Then, when Dad retired, they moved back to Nebraska, opened up a hotel, restaurant, bar, and liquor store. Another business. And my mom was very active. She was the cook and all that stuff. So very, very strong woman. Now, her mother, my mom was Luella. Her mother, Rowena, my grandmother, one of my other caregivers. Rowena was quite a woman. She had a 5th grade education. She married her husband, and he was quite an industrious person. He was an entrepreneur, always striding this business, had all these properties that he had money placed on, and then in 1952 he died. And when he died, he left all this debt and bill to my grandmother. She cut draperies on her living room floor to pay for his casket. She drove that into one of the largest interior decorating studios in Nebraska and parts of Kansas. Another very, very strong woman. I'm sure dangerous. Her mother, Carrie, now that's my great-grandmother. Now, my great-grandmother was really quite interesting in that she was 6'2" tall and was corseted down to an 18-inch waist. And so they say that she'd been married 3 times. She moved from, they took her in a covered wagon from Connecticut to Minnesota. Unmarked trails through Indian Territory. And they got to Minnesota and built a sod hut and then a log cabin. And the story goes that she fought Indians in the front yard. I imagine it wasn't a very long battle. I imagine that 6'2" walked out carrying a rifle, and the Sioux Indians who were around at the time took one look at her and said, "Oops, probably not do this today. So that was her. She was one of my other caregivers. Then Ella, that was her grandmother, Ella. And Ella was the one who took my great-grandmother, was my great-great-grandmother. She married at 15 to a gentleman whose age was 30, and they were the ones that put my great-grandmother in the back of the wagons and took them out to Minnesota. There's 2 covered wagons, 2 families, 5 kids in each wagon, and pulled by milk cows and unmarked trails. And when they got to Minnesota, the milk cows died. Not used to all that work. So that was Ella. Imagine the strength of these women. Incredible. So we believe this was her tombstone at 1811 to 1902. We believe that was her tombstone. It's not positive. So I just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, and that all of you children, we should thank our mothers, and our children should thank us. We should thank our mothers for allowing us to kick them in the stomach for 9 months, hurt them as we came skipping and screaming into the world, and raised us and loved us. So I'm just doing this to give you a little history and to wish all of you a happy Mother's Day. Have a very happy Mother's Day. Love you all. Bye.